Okay, and we're live. Welcome, everyone. My name is Caleb Hale. I'm the Director of Communications for the SIU Alumni Association. Today we're doing another live stream. This time I've got a couple of guests a couple of alumni guests and someone from campus here from the Small Business Development Center that is housed here at SIU. And we're going to talk a little bit about what kinds of work that is done at the center, giving an example of a company that's kind of sprang up and enjoyed some success very recently. And we're going to talk a little bit about the Small Business Development Center and how it actually is, the resources there are available to, not just anyone in the region, but also to alumni as well. A couple of things I wanted to start out with, just a couple of housekeeping items. You'll see kind of our logo down there at the corner of the screen. That is, again, we just wanted to remind you we do have our smartphone app that we launched with a couple months ago. It's been getting a good response from people, but the QR code is there for iOS devices and Android devices. You can download that from your store of choice on there, and it's a great way to keep up with what's going on with us, but also what's going on with campus as well. So without much more, I'm going to bring in our other guest here today. I've got with me Eric Gregg, who is an 85 graduate of SIU, and Gerald Daniil, who I'm sorry, I said I wouldn't reveal this on there, but he's a 74 grad. I had to tell everyone where you both came from. Along with me there is Deb Barnett. She works at our Small Business Development Center. Other a little bit about the Levee lock system. That's the company that they have founded here at the center, and I'll let them explain a little bit more about what's been going on with it. So, Eric, Gerald, take it away for now.
Well, thanks so much. I'm Eric Gregg, and I'm one of the co-founders and co-owners of Levee Lock, and we've actually been here at the Dunn Richmond Center for a couple of years and worked very closely with Deb Barnett and her staff, and just found it to be just a great experience. And in fact, that's one of the reasons why we
excuse me for a moment. Looks like we're having a couple of technical issues. Hold tight for one moment while I try and get people back. All right, we're back with Eric and Gerald. Sorry, that's technology for you. It comes
absolutely.
up. So back to where you were, and we'll let Deb get back in as she can.
Certainly. So when we formed this company a few years ago, we thought it would be a great idea to find a place that we could certainly grow and team up with some folks that could help us, and that's one of the reasons we came here to the Dunn Richmond Center, and have developed such a great relationship with Deb Barnett and the staff here at SIU. And we've had the pleasure of meeting with a lot of the different departments here, and as we continue to grow and develop our business, it's just been an absolute fantastic experience for us, and we're excited about continuing that relationship for not only the near future, but for the long term as well. Gerald, do you want to comment on it?
Well, I can say that this is a great location. It's ideal, actually. Everyone is got the best face for our business on, and it just everything works for us here. It's a great place for people to come and visit and eat. It's also a great place to to have available everything that we could ask for it with the construction industry around us and so forth. We have a wonderful place to come together and discuss and understand our business. It's quite different than a lot of construction business. It's kind of a I guess kind of a business that you don't see very often. It's a disruptive type of business where your customers don't even know what they need until they see it. So.
Right, and if you could, let's get into it a little bit about what the Levee lock system is and where the idea formed, and what's happened since it was.
Well, Caleb, just for one moment, you mentioned about Gerald and I both being SIU grads, which we are, and we're both very, very proud of that. But that being said, we both understood how important this university would be to our company. And that's, again, one of the reasons we decided to come here and work with Deb Barnett and her staff and everyone as we continue to grow the company. Now, as mentioned before, Levee Lock actually came out of a thought of using another product called the EVG 3D panel to be used to kind of address some of the flooding issues that we're faced with here in Southern Illinois, and not only Southern Illinois, but across the country. So we were looking at that, and it actually developed even more given Gerald's background, and I'll let him address his background and kind of how the company kind of evolved into a whole nother system. We still can utilize the panel in some respects, but it's gotten a lot bigger. And in fact, Gerald, we will share that we've just recently received our 4th utility patent, which is extremely exciting for us. And Gerald, if you want to talk about the system.
Well, the system really came from two problems with trenching, deep trenching especially. One is holding the trench open is problematic. Trench collapse has probably caused more deaths than underground coal mining.
40 per year. 40 deaths per year.
Average about 40. Yeah, I think they are above that right now. I think the first 2 months of the year it was like 6 or 7.
So we pull people out of trenches.
Well, we don't have a wide trench where people fall in it, or we don't have to, if you don't have to work in the trench, and we're devising ways so you don't have to work in it. That's one big aspect. But holding a trench open is a major problem in the trenching work, and also the lining of a trench. The way to line a trench is really just throwing fabric down over it and taking sticks and poles and pushing it down. But with a deep trench, you don't have that luxury. And we have our patent is a machine that lays this liner in these deep trenches, and that opens up a whole new ballgame for what you can do with trenches. You can use those trenches to put a permeable liner in and do deep drainage projects. You can do what's called reactive barriers, where you let the groundwater flow through the fabric, pick up the or be mixed with the treatment that you have inside the liner. Say it's activated charcoal or limestone or maybe chopped up steel slag. Phosphorus treatment. You can use this reactive barrier, deep underground buried reactive barrier, to treat groundwater and to make it clean water again. You can use it for cutoff walls. We can put either the soil that came out of the initial trench, or you can put concrete in it. You can use this would be a impermeable liner that you can line these trenches with, and but you can use it so many different ways. We represent, honestly, a new platform utilizing deep trenches for more things, and it's a lot. It's got a lot of advantages with pollution control, with cutoff walls, and even if you need a deep barrier for security around say a nuclear power plant or whatever, we offer that too.
one of the exciting things, and Gerald touched on that, is where we're going to be heading. It looks like, and just because we're getting a lot of traction in that arena, is the pollution area, and we think with what we have, we can certainly start fixing a lot of the problems on Superfund sites from both big and small projects, and we can go in and we can encase these areas and prevent further damage to the groundwater. And Gerald, with his expertise in this area, we've had several meetings. We've done presentations for the Corps of Engineers in both Louisville and St. Louis. We've talked to the EPA. We've talked with some big power plant owners, and so we've had, and the ag industry. That's the other area. So we think we have something. We know we have something very special here to address those problems that's facing not only our country but around the world. So we think that we have an addressable market that's just huge, and we have a better way of doing it. We built a better mousetrap, and that's something that we're extremely proud of. And as we continue to grow and develop, we're going to, in fact, we mentioned we have a meeting next month with a huge company that's flying in to meet with us in St. Louis to talk about how we can kind of work together, and that kind of speaks to our business model as well. It's either doing a kind of a licensing kind of agreement or a joint venture type of arrangement. So as we develop, we're certainly looking at opportunities to partner up with like-minded businesses to really kind of roll this thing out. And we know that it's just a matter of time, and Deb and I talk about this a lot. We're just about to tip with this. So we've had so much good traction. We recently were featured, Gerald and I were interviewed by Waterways Journal, which is the largest and oldest publication in the United States dealing with our waterways. And it was a great article talking about what we have. And again, we save lives. We're much more environmentally friendly than anything that's out there. In fact, one of our patent attorneys made the statement that we've come up with a better way to dig a ditch, and they've been digging ditches for tens of thousands of years in the world. So we're really excited about that. But that speaks to Gerald's expertise and years of work in the coal industry, and also as a farmer and as a raising cattle and everything he's done in his life. And then with Gerald, with what he does, and with Jim Lancaster, his business end of it, and then my end working with local, state, and federal government. So we've just created a great team to kind of roll this levee lock system out. And we can tell you this, just think about this. What if, we feel like we can become the gold standard in controlling pollution in the industry with all the problems with leaking gas stations, with the tanks. What if the EPA came in and said, okay, we want every gas station from now on to be encased in this levee lock system? Well, we're instantly a $1 billion company overnight. I mean, and that's the reality of it. When we get to the point where we are going to be the go-to guys on coming in and fixing things because of Gerald's design and what he's put together and what we now have patented, it's going to be a great thing. It's going to save lives. It's going to save the environment. It's going to protect our groundwater. It's just an all-around great opportunity with a great company and a great team here at SIU.
Yeah, and I think in just a short amount of time, it has gone international. Can you talk a little bit about, there's a contract out in Sydney, Australia, currently at the moment, that involves this product, and also with a local construction firm, I think.
Yeah, we can switch gears a little bit and talk about the Fega McGee Resilient Building Division. That's the other arm, really kind of our levee lock has kind of grown into the Fega McGee Resilient Building Division. Fega McGee is a very successful multi-state commercial residential build company located in Murfreesboro, Illinois, and we've teamed up with them to kind of form a resilient building division. And as a result of that, we have had just incredible success and traction. And for example, we went through what's called the two AFWERX challenges. One was working with the Air Force, and the other one was working with the Department of Defense. We actually made it to the finalists in both of those challenges, and we received letters from military personnel stating that out of all the submissions, we were top 15%, which is extremely exciting for a company in Murfreesboro, Illinois, and for us here in Carbondale, and for the manufacturing facility, which is in Ridgeway, Illinois. All Southern Illinois companies with the potential of putting a lot of people to work with good paying jobs, which is kind of where we're heading with that. But yeah, you mentioned one of the things that came out of the challenges was all the companies that we were introduced to, and we've now formed collaborations with. And as a result of that, one of the companies called ProtectFlex is a huge company in Australia that basically works with a huge defense contractor over there, and they build all the homes for the embassies and housing and buildings for personnel around the world. And so we're in the process, and I'll let Gerald talk to that because this is, again, his baby. He's the guy that designed the EVG 3D panels that went over that were shipped from Ridgeway, Illinois to, and he was there and we were there loading it onto the trucks as it went from truck to St. Louis to rail to Long Beach, California to being shipped over to Sydney, Australia, and now it's in the process of being tested. In fact, we just received a video showing that. Gerald, you want to talk about that?
Well, it's at the Wollongong University over there in Sydney, and the testing is going to be done there for our panels with a new blast-proof cement, and it's going to be tested with from sound, from the aspect of blast-proof structures, and also from the aspect of seismic events. So this testing, once it passes these tests, which everyone believes it will test very well with this, then it will be starting to be marketed through this ProtectFlex company, who, like Eric says, works with the embassies all around the world. And so we have a very good way to start our marketing of the EVG 3D panels.
We're looking at sound testing as well. Here's the other amazing part about this product, Caleb. These buildings that we can construct or structures that we can make with this are basically they're ballistic rated. That's part of what we're talking about right now going on. Also, they're windproof, they're earthquake proof, they're fireproof, and they're virtually indestructible, and they're energy efficient. They're better than anything on the market today. So that's the kind of buildings we're starting to talk about putting together, and we've got several people we're engaged with now to do just that. We're very excited about the testing going on at the Wollongong University because it's going to come back and show us blast resistance, where this thing could actually take almost, they think it could take a missile hit and still survive, as well as the sound testing that's going to be done. One of the arenas that we're looking at, the areas of the spaces we'd like to get into would be, the sound test or the sound walls along interstates. We see them all over. We have a product that can go up faster, better, I'm sure less expensive than what's out there today, and be stronger and last for years, many more years than what's being done today. So it's just a unique product. It's not something that's new, but it's new to our area. Primarily, this product has been used out of Ridgeway, Illinois, in the coal industry as overcast seals and ventilation systems. They were the strongest in the industry. The cool thing for us with this is that there are two of these machines in the United States that manufacture this product. One is out west, and the one sits in our backyard in Ridgeway, Illinois, right here in Southern Illinois. So we have built an incredible team of people around us, again, including the folks here at SIU, to come together to really build something that's unique, that nobody else has, and that we're extremely proud of and excited about watching this thing continue, as you said early on, to run like it is, because every day is an adventure for us, which is wonderful, and great things are happening.
And this would be a good time, I guess, to bring in Deb Barnett into the conversation. She's out at the SIU Research Park in the Small Business Development Center and Incubator there. And Deb, obviously, this is an example of the types of things that can just form in this space here. And I wanted to give you an opportunity first just to introduce yourself and talk a little bit about, what what about the center allows these types of ideas and these types of collaborations and things to form?
Yeah, thanks, Caleb. And I could listen to Eric and Gerald talk all day long. In fact, I probably receive weekly calls from Eric just with updates on new things that are developing. And as he mentioned, things are just moving so quickly. So we were so excited that Levee chose the SIU Research Park as their home and their headquarters for the company. And it's been so exciting to see all the developments over the last few years and the developments that continue every single day, it seems like. So again, we're excited to have them here. As far as the SIU Research Park and its Office of Innovation and Economic Development, it's been around since 1990. And our incubator building, which I'm sitting in right now, and actually Eric and Gerald, the Levee office is in as well. It was built in 1990. And so some of the listeners today might have actually been on campus in those days. I know I was, and I remember the incubator being built, and I always called it the incubator. It's actually called the Dunn-Richmond Economic Development Center, and it is an incubator facility. So for the first time in 30 years since its start, we are at capacity in the incubator. So we house startup companies and other community and economic development organizations here in the building. And then as part of the research park, we also have other buildings on site where our incubator graduates can graduate out to. And I have a few examples of those that I'll share a little bit later. But as far as the research park, we are the primary business and community development outreach arm for the university. We also house a number of different offices, as you mentioned, the Small Business Development Center, the Illinois Small Business Development Center at SIU. So there are small business development centers all throughout the state of Illinois and the country, but we are fortunate to have one right here in our business incubator, as well as the Procurement Technical Assistance Center, which is our PTAC. And this is an office that works with companies to help them with government contracting. And then we also have the Illinois Manufacturing Excellence Center that works with manufacturers throughout the state, and our Center for Innovation and a number of other offices. I said all of that to say we're sort of a one-stop shop, which is really, really unique, particularly for a university to have. So a lot of universities might have one or maybe two of these programs in addition to a research park and an incubator. But SIU is really unique in that we have all of these all in one place as a one-stop shop.
And can you give me a little bit about what's kind of the range of the types of tenants that you have in there? Because not only do you provide space, but there are other services as well. So just give me an idea of who are the types of people and businesses taking advantage of this space right now.
Yeah, so that's a good question. Typically, we work with startup companies, and it can be a range of startup companies. Right now, we've seen a real trend in companies related to healthcare and the healthcare sector. But then again, we have folks like Levee that walk in with this product that can be helpful with pollution control and levee remediation, and then we just see it blossom from there beyond what I think any of us really expected. So those types of things are exciting to watch. To give you a couple of examples, one that we're really proud of as well is 40 Below Joe. This is a company that was co-founded by Kurt Jones, who's also an SIU alum, and some might recognize his name as he is also the founder of Dippin' Dots. So he started Dippin' Dots, and all of that started, and the idea started right here when he was a student at SIU. So 40 Below Joe is a new company that he founded, and it's that same frozen beaded type of product, but with coffees and creamers. So they do all of their manufacturing right here in the incubator facility, have their headquarters here, and are constantly looking to expand and grow into new product lines. I'll mention a couple more if that's okay, Caleb. One of the companies that's been here probably the longest is DXR Development Group, and they are actually housed in one of our other buildings. So they started here in the incubator in July of 1992. And they grew from here. They expanded out into the rest of the research park. And they work with educational software, primarily started with medical educational software and working with some faculty in our School of Medicine. And they currently have several employees, but 6 of those are SIU grads. And so we're very proud of them and the longevity that they've seen here in the Southern Illinois region. And then another one that I would highlight is Potentia Analytics. So they're in that healthcare analytics sector and that growing focus on healthcare, it seems lately. They also graduated out into one of our other buildings. And let's see, I made some notes here because they started in 2013, but currently 10 of their employees are SIU grads. So not only is it creating jobs here in the region and jobs for our SIU graduates, but it's also creating strong connections with the university and our faculty talent, our student talent, and all of those benefits that you get as well.
And Eric, you were mentioning earlier that being in the incubator with these other folks here, it also gives you the opportunity for collaborations that you might not expect in place. And you tell me a little bit about that.
Absolutely. We discussed the collaborations that came out of the African challenges, the companies that we've now teamed up with at the global scale. But one of the very important things that we've had happen was as we mentioned earlier, through the working with Deb and for everybody here and meeting the other companies, we've definitely, Kurt Jones, we've spent a lot of time with him. Gerald and I have been down a few times over the last year or so with Kurt, and plan to spend more time with him on a couple of different projects. So there's a lot of synergy within this facility of people wanting to kind of meet one another and talk about ways to kind of collaborate and work together and see how we can all help each other. That's another great point to bring up, and I'm glad you did that, Caleb, because that's very important. And that happens all the time here, and that's another reason we're glad to be here and honored to be a part of the Dunn-Richmond Economic Development Center. And as we grow, and Deb, hopefully you'll be talking about us in a few years, talking about all the SIU grads that we put to work for us. So.
Yeah, I think this is it's a great tool out there, not only for to really, I think it's critical to the economic engine mission that SIU has on there, but it's also a lot of, I would expect a lot of alumni would use SIU as a place to return to if they wanted to, well, if they needed the knowledge base to try and start up with a new idea they had as well. So what kinds of resources are available to alumni from the center if they should want to use some of them?
Yeah, so that's also a really good question because we do have so many resources here. And if we don't have a particular resource available or a particular area of expertise, we can always help make those connections, as Eric was saying. Probably the best way is just to reach out to us. The incubator at siu.edu, that email address comes directly to my team, and we can kind of see exactly what someone might need and how we can help them. So for example, the Small Business Development Center that has also assisted Levee Lock and assisted even early on, I believe with some patent drawings and things like that with some of those patents that they've had issued in this past year. They offer all kinds of business advisement from the very, very early stages of someone just having an idea to maybe they're wanting to move a business here to Southern Illinois, or maybe they're wanting to expand, or we help with business plans, all kinds of things, all different stages of business development. So we can definitely help with that. And you don't have to be a tenant here at the Research Park to access those services. Those services are available at no cost to clients. And if someone is not here in the region, we can also connect them directly with the Small Business Development Center in their area. As I said, they're across the country. So we can help with them in a number of ways. If alumni are also looking, maybe they have a business or they're part of a business that would be interested in connecting more strongly with our faculty or, as I said, student talent, we can help them do that as well. And then if they want to have a presence here and maybe not a dedicated office like Levee has, but just presence, we have what's called an affiliate membership that they can participate in as well. So there are lots of options. And honestly, Caleb, it really depends on the situation and kind of talking one-on-one and seeing how we can best help.
Okay. Well, we are coming up on the end of our half hour here that we had planned. Eric, Gerald, is there anything else that you wanted to add or that we've left off with regards to working for the center or working with the center?
Well, one other aspect of Levee Lock that we haven't talked about, I'd like to say something about before we leave. That is the pollution control side of things with the geosynthetic materials has to date been horizontal. Let me explain by saying that, for instance, waste landfills are lined with this material, and then the waste landfill is built upon it, and it's there to keep leachate from going down into the groundwater. For the first time, we offered the geosynthetic industry a new market segment, and that would be the vertical liners around waste landfills, so that the groundwater cannot come in contact, with the leachate underneath these landfills. So some of these landfills, obviously the old ones, do not have the liner, and also liners sometimes break. After 40, 50 years, they may crack and dissolve a little bit, and we offer a new liner material that has no, its useful life has not been determined because it lasts so long. So, that's polypropylene versus polyethylene. But anyway, we offer a new segment for the geosynthetic manufacturers for a market for vertical walls around sites that they want to protect from groundwater, and we want to tap that.
Okay, so yeah, obviously this is the kind of place where new ideas develop, new things come to fruition and on the market. The kind of, like you said, disruptive things that people don't realize they need until it's there in their hands and it's available to them. And obviously, thanks to places like this, it can be available to them, and the people have the resources there. So, Deb, I'll let you end if there's anything else you want to add, or any other or pitch or anything about anyone. This is a place where ideas come to grow and actually take shape. So,
Actually, you can probably see behind me.
I know, I was kind of
minds and big ideas connect.
I was trying to read behind you to copy a little bit of the sentiment off there.
Yeah, that's definitely what we try to do. And again, we're so proud of companies like Levee Lock, and it's so exciting to talk with them. As I said, every single week. If some weeks it's almost every day. And with Eric and Gerald and Jim, and just the innovation that's happening there, and the progress that's happening, not only in the region, as Eric mentioned, but now nationally and internationally. So we're just excited to play a small role in that. They have been doing such a great job in making connections literally all over the world to make this happen. So we're excited that they're here, and we just welcome any others that have those big ideas and want to see them grow. Okay.
Well, Eric, Gerald, Deb, thank you for taking some time with me today to talk with me. It's exciting to hear about what's going on with you guys. And Deb, it's always good to hear about more resources that are available from the university to alumni and to really anyone out there. So thank you very much. Thanks to everyone who's been online joining us today. And we will see you next time. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Caleb.